Hey guys, it's your average middle-aged American back again with another reaction video to Italy. This will be part 3 of our top 100 places to visit in Italy, according to Ryan. Check out his channel. Amazing, amazing photography, amazing videography. If you haven't already seen part 1 and 2, I would advise you doing that. This stuff does not repeat. These are not the same places, filtered into 3 different videos. This is me chopping up a long video into shorter videos. So, enough jibber jabber. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Thumbs up goes a long way. I appreciate you. Let's get to it.
One of my favorite cities in Umbria is Assisi. Now located about 30 minutes from Puglia, Assisi is a fascinating medieval town and the birthplace of St. Francis. My favorite feature of the town is the Basilica of St. Francis. It's one of the most unique churches I've seen. It was built back in 1253 and I love its countless arches that line the basilica.
Love it.
Now another beautiful Umbrian town is Spello. It's located just 15 minutes from Assisi, and Spello is an incredible walled city. It began as a Roman colony in the 1st century BC and grew to become an impressive medieval town which is incredibly preserved today. I mean, it's definitely worth a visit if you're in Umbria. After, we're going to visit San Marino. The Republic of San Marino is a microstate completely enclosed by Italy. The history of the small country is fascinating. It was founded by a stonemason from Croatia named St. Marinus. After he faced persecution for his Christian beliefs, he fled to the mountain of Monte Titano, where he built a church and founded this small country in the year 301 AD. San Marino claims to be the oldest surviving sovereign state and the oldest constitutional republic. The capital of the country is the city of San Marino, and it's
Okay, so I'm assuming that they pay Italy X amount in taxes or whatever, and then Italy is their part of their defense system and all that. I mean, do they have their own police force and fire? They have a hospital there. They have the ability. Do they have a, national defense? Or is this all something that Italy takes care of? Let me know. We don't have countries in the middle of our countries, so I don't understand. I don't know. So I'm just trying to learn.
situated on the slopes of Monte Titano. It's hard to beat the location of the city. One of the most iconic spots in San Marino is the Fortress of Guaita. It was built in the 11th century and served as a prison. After San Marino, we're going to head over to Vieste. Now located on the Gargano Peninsula, Vieste is a calm coastal town and definitely less known, especially to people who aren't from Italy. Now while you're in Vieste, you can enjoy the beauty of the Gargano National Park. You can make the 15-minute drive down the coast to experience incredible limestone cliffs. One of my favorites is the Arch of San Felice. Vieste and the Gargano Peninsula are hidden gems that deserve a visit. Now afterwards, we're going to visit the nearby Tremiti Islands, or Isole Tremite. Now located in the Adriatic Sea, the archipelago is made up of 5 islands that are also part of the Gargano National Park. During Roman times, Augustus had his granddaughter sent here for over 20 years, and during Mussolini's regime, it acted as a prison. Now today, the archipelago is a popular tourist destination. The islands are full of endless coves, perfect for boating and snorkeling. You can get there by taking a ferry from cities such as Vieste or Tremoli, and it's definitely a place to add to your Italian bucket list. After, we're going to visit the region of Puglia.
That's pretty congested there. I mean, that's pretty dense. Now, all these people, I mean, do they just use bicycles or, motorized bicycles or scooters, that kind of thing? Because, I mean, there's no way you're getting normal cars through there, right? And then there wouldn't be anywhere to park anyway. What do they do about like deliveries? Like, when you have something large that you need delivered. I mean, it doesn't look like there's much room anywhere in there for any kind of transportation. That's wild.
Now, located on the boot hill of Italy, Puglia is a region famous for its whitewashed towns and magnificent coastline. The capital of the region is Bari.
Oh, there's cars.
Now, while I don't think it's the most beautiful town in Puglia, it's a great base to start and explore the cities of the region.
Wow.
One of my favorite places in Puglia is Pugliano a Mare. It's a stunning town right on the Adriatic coast. What I love about it is how the city is built right on the sea cliffs. I mean, they're just on there so perfectly that it looks like they're gonna fall off. There's some restaurants built into the caves on the sea cliffs. I mean, just such a cool spot. One of the most famous places in the city is Calaporto. It's probably the most recognized place in all of Puglia. It's a stunning beach that's surrounded by cliffs, coupled with crystal clear Mediterranean water. I mean, just pure paradise there. Another famous town in the region is Alberobello. Now, believed to be founded around the 14th century, Alberobello has grown in popularity thanks to its uniquely shaped houses called trulli. The trulli are these whitewashed houses with cone-shaped roofs. It's the largest collection of them in the world with over 1,400. Now, they are...
Now, is that, for anybody who knows, is it hollow on the inside? So when you look up, it's like, you know, like a tent? Or is it just kind of cosmetic on the outside? You just have a normal roof, or a cathedral ceiling, a pitched roof, or whatever. So let me know. I mean, do you have that whole cone that you're looking up into? It's wild.
Made of limestone from nearby rock beds without any mortar or cement. There are some theories of why they built the trulli in such a unique way. Some speculate it was an elaborate form of tax evasion. Since you had to pay taxes to the king, you had a permanent dwelling, and they found a loophole since the trulli didn't have cement and could be dismantled quickly if you needed to. I mean, you gotta love some medieval tax evasion. Afterwards, we're gonna visit Matera. Now, you may recognize this town in the most recent James Bond film. Matera is known all around the world for its unique cave dwellings and striking architecture. It's believed that Matera was founded over 9,000 years ago, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited settlements on the planet. To date, Matera is one of Italy's best kept secrets and definitely a town worth visiting. Another beautiful town in Puglia is Locorotondo. It's located just 9 minutes from Alberobello. This quaint village has been listed as one of Italy's most beautiful. It sits on a hill and overlooks the Itria Valley. Now, right next to Locorotondo is the town of Martina Franca. Similar to a lot of other towns in Puglia, Martina Franca rests on top of a hill and is full of historic whitewashed buildings. The town's jewel is its historic center full of winding alleys, Baroque architecture, and stunning churches. Now, afterwards, we're going to visit Taranto. Now, located about 40 minutes from Martina Franca, Taranto was founded by the Spartans in the 8th century BC, and by the 5th century BC, it was one of the largest cities in the world with a population of over 300,000, which was a ton for back then. Now, today, it's one of the biggest cities in southern Italy. One of my favorite features is the Castello Aragonese. It was built in 1496 and was used as a fortress and prison. Now, one of my favorite places in Puglia is Ostuni. Now, located about an hour's drive from Bari, Ostuni is famous for its whitewashed old towns with a maze of alleyways, staircases, and arches. I mean, when you drive here, you'll be able to see Ostuni from a distance as it's strategically built upon a hill. Now, from the city, you can see the Adriatic Sea and groves of green olive trees. Now, afterwards, we're going to visit the region of Calabria. Now, located right on Italy's toe, Calabria is home to some of Italy's best beaches and coastal towns. One of the most beautiful beaches in Calabria is Capo Vaticano. Now, it's these incredible coastal cliffs with rock-like fingers that dip into the sea. It's full of beaches and difficult to access coves, perfect for snorkeling or boating. I mean, I definitely want to swim here next summer. Now, another amazing beach in Calabria is Arco Magno. It's this hidden beach with an arch that leads to the sea. Now, after, we're going to visit Tropea. Now, I think it's definitely one of the most underrated towns in Italy. Tropea is perched upon a cliff overlooking the Tyrrhenian Sea. Legends say that the city was founded by Hercules. Today, it has been named one of Italy's most beautiful villages, and I can totally understand why. While you're there, you can relax on the Marausa beach and marvel at the contrast between the Mediterranean Sea and the buildings on the cliff's edge. Another beautiful coastal town in Calabria is Scilla. The town's name comes from the mythological young nymph named Scylla, who was turned into a six-headed dog monster who would attack ships crossing the Strait of Messina. Now today it's a beautiful seaside town, home to a beautiful beach and colorful Italian homes that line the coast. Now after, we're going to visit the hilltop town of Gerace. Now located about 15 minutes above the coastal town of Locri, Gerace is a perfectly preserved medieval commune full of history and charm. It's believed that a sparrowhawk led a group of fleeing inhabitants to the mountains who ended up building Gerace. It once had 128 churches and many still stand today. Now another beautiful hilltop town in the region is Bova. Now located 900 meters above sea level, Bova is an intriguing town set back in time. It's one of the few Greek-speaking villages in all of Italy. Throughout the centuries, it experienced many attacks and trials such as plagues in the 16th century and bombings during World War II. Today, it's a scenic mountain town that is sure to take you back in time. Afterwards, we're going to head over to the nearby island of Sicily. Now, Sicily is the largest island in the Mediterranean. It's just full of culture and fascinating history. The capital of Sicily is Palermo. Now located on the northwest coast of the island, it was founded all the way back in 734 BC by the Phoenicians. It's an incredible city.
Now, is that tile? I mean, that's not just painted, right? I mean, is that, I assume that's tile, tile and mortar? Pretty cool. So much to see. Jeez.
City full of beautiful churches and scenery. Now about an hour's drive from Palermo is Cefalo. Now this may be one of my favorite cities in Sicily. I just love how it's built right between a cliff and the sea. Now one of the most prominent features of Cefalo is its cathedral, which was constructed around 1131 AD. While we're still in Sicily, we're going to head over to the city of Catania. What's crazy about Catania is that it lies at the base of the massive Mount Etna volcano, which is 3,326 meters tall. It's one of the world's most active volcanoes. I'm just wild to see the ash.
So they have a volcano that's 2 miles tall. And it's smoking. That's wild. That's like CGI stuff. I mean, that's wild. To my new Italian friends out there, there's so many little areas. Is it one of those cases where you're kind of, if you're born there, you probably die there? You don't really move just because you're, that segment has its own kind of culture and its own, everybody knows everybody kind of thing. And, your dad's a fisherman, you're a fisherman, that kind of thing. What is it like? I mean, do people move from different areas and try different places, even within the same country? Because it varies a lot, apparently, as far as environment, architecture, location, everything varies dramatically. We know. I'm curious.
Ash shooting out the top. I mean, what a crazy yet beautiful city. Another beautiful nearby town is Taormina. Now, like Catania, Taormina offers astounding views of Mount Etna. I just love how the city is perfectly placed on a hill, but also offers incredible beaches and seaside coves below. I really like the island called Isola Bella. Afterwards, we're going to visit the city of Syracuse. Now, this may be one of the most historic cities in all of Sicily. Syracuse was founded by ancient Greek Corinthians about 2,700 years ago and was described by Cicero as the greatest Greek city and the most beautiful of them all. It became part of the Roman Republic and also was the capital of the Byzantine Empire for a few years. The Apostle Paul also spent some time here. Today you can see many ancient ruins such as the Greek Theater. An interesting feature of Syracuse is the Castello Maniace. It was completed in the year 1240 and has such a unique shape as it extends into the sea. One of the most impressive places on the island is the Valley of the Temples. Located in the town of Agrigento, it's one of the world's most stunning examples of Greek architecture. There were 7 temples built here by the Greeks in the 5th century BC. Unfortunately, they were burnt down by the Carthaginians, but rebuilt by the Romans 4 centuries later. One of the most well preserved is the Temple of Concordia. It features the classic Greek pillars, and it just makes you wonder what this must have looked like when it was first built. Another fascinating attraction in Sicily is the Stairs of the Turks. It's these white limestone cliffs with an impressive beach. I'd love to spend a hot afternoon there basking in the sun. Afterwards, we're going to visit the nearby Aeolian Islands. Now made up of 7 islands, this volcanic archipelago is located off the north coast of Sicily. The best way to reach the islands is by taking a ferry from the town of Milazzo. I'd love to spend next summer sailing around and hiking these spectacular volcanic islands. Now another stunning island off of Sicily is Lampedusa. Now located right in between Malta and Tunisia, it is the southernmost place in all of Italy. This Italian island is full of Mediterranean views and crystal clear waters. And to get there, you can take a ferry from Sicily or by plane. The island's Rabbit Beach has been voted one of the best in the world, so definitely add that to your bucket list. Afterwards, we're going to visit the incredible region of Tuscany. Now located in central Italy, Tuscany is known for its landscapes, history, and artistic legacy. I've been obsessed with Tuscany ever since I've seen The Gladiator. It's a land full of rolling golden hills dotted with countless little hilltop towns. It'd just be so cool to retire here and live on a Tuscan farm. One of my favorite cities in Tuscany is San Gimignano. Now located about an hour's drive from Florence, San Gimignano is a stunning medieval city perched upon a hill. One of the most iconic features of the city is its medieval watchtowers. Currently, there are 14 watchtowers still standing, but during its prime, there were over 72 towers, with the highest being over 70 meters tall. The towers were built as a result of competing families who wanted to build the tallest and most grand tower. Can't imagine how it must have looked like back then. It was the Manhattan of the Middle Ages. It was so fun to walk through the city. You literally feel like you're going back in time. San Gimignano flourished as a city until 1348 when the plague of Black Death struck the town, which resulted in killing over half the population. San Gimignano's medieval vibe has been untouched throughout time, and it's become one of the most popular medieval locations in all of Italy. Afterwards, we're going to visit the nearby city of Siena. Located about a 40-minute drive from San Gimignano, it's built upon 3 hills, with its central feature being the Piazza del Campo. Now twice a year, the square hosts the wild Palio di Siena horse race around the edge of the piazza, and I would love to see that one day. Now another one of my favorite features of the city is the Duomo di Siena. It's a visually stunning church that was completed all the way back in 1246. The interior blew my mind with its black and white pillars.
Check that out. That I've never seen anything like that with the black and white.
And endless artwork, and I couldn't recommend Siena enough. You're gonna fall in love with this medieval city. Now right in between Siena and San Gimignano is another really cool medieval town called Monteregioni. It's one of the best medieval walled fortresses I've seen. It was built all the way back in 1219.
I love that. I love me a wall. I love me castles, but it's kind of like a castle without the castle. All the town folks can get together and fight off whoever's coming. That's so cool. I love how the car just drives in there like it's, pulling into the neighborhood. That's so cool.
By the people of Siena to act as a front line in the wars against Florence. Afterwards, we're going to explore the region of Val d'Orcia. Now, when you think of Tuscany, this is what you'll probably imagine. Lush, rolling hills, perfectly aligned cypress trees, and those picturesque hilltop towns. This is easily one of the most scenic parts of Tuscany. Now, Val d'Orcia starts in the hills of South Siena and extends to Monte Amiata. Now, one of my favorite towns in Val d'Orcia is Pienza. Now, located about an hour's drive from Siena, Pienza is a picture-perfect town built upon a hill. I just love how the city overlooks all the surrounding landscapes, One really cool place right below the city is where the iconic shot of Gladiator was filmed. I just remember watching that movie and thinking how cool it would be to explore Tuscany. Now just 20 minutes from Pienza is the town of Montepulciano. Built high atop a limestone ridge, this medieval Renaissance town is sure to take you back in time. From 13
It looks like it's got parking for about 8 cars. If you're new to my channel, I always try to figure out where to park.
is the town of Montepulciano. Built high atop a limestone ridge, this medieval Renaissance town is sure to take you back in time. From 1390 to the mid-16th century, Montepulciano enjoyed a prosperous period as architects built luxury homes and Renaissance buildings. Today, it's one of the most popular towns in the region. If you're into drinking, Montepulciano is home to some of Italy's best red wines. I mean, the town is just so impressive to me. Definitely one of my favorites in Tuscany. Now, afterwards, we're going to visit the Saturnia Hot Springs. Now, located about a 3-hour drive from Florence, these are some of the coolest looking hot springs I've ever seen. The water is this milky blue color and it drains down mineral terraces. The water is a warm...
All right, guys. Is this photoshopped or is this really what it looks like? Let me know. You know, I understand that things have to be corrected for, you know, YouTube or compression or saturation issues or whatever, but is this really, I mean, is this really what this water looks like? Let me know.
37 degrees Celsius all year round thanks to thermal activity of a nearby volcano. When I was here, it was really packed. Granted, it was during the middle of the day, during the peak.
That doesn't look exactly the same. I mean, I'm not saying it's not cool, but that is definitely not the same color.
Peak of summer. I'd say if you want to avoid the crowds, I'd recommend coming to the hot springs super early in the morning or during the off season in spring or autumn. Nonetheless, it's still fun to be there. The water felt so good and I couldn't believe the turquoise blue color. Such an incredible spot you gotta visit if you're in Tuscany. Afterwards, we're going to visit the nearby town of Pitigliano. Now located about a 30-minute drive from Saturnia, Pitigliano is a historic city perched upon a volcanic rock. It's believed that the area around Pitigliano was inhabited during Etruscan times, and in the 1600s, the town started to grow a large Jewish presence as some Jews fled from persecution in Rome. Today, Pitigliano is a quaint town. I just love how it's built upon those cliffs. Such a sight to see. One fascinating place in Tuscany is the Carrara marble quarries located in the Apuan Alps. More marble has been produced here than anywhere on the planet, and it's where the marble used for Michelangelo's David came from. Now afterwards, we're going to go visit the famous town of Pisa. Now located about an hour's drive from Florence, Pisa is known worldwide for its leaning tower. The tower is over 55 meters tall and has a lean of nearly 4 degrees. The tower was completed all the way back in 1372. The lean is caused by an unstable foundation that has been a problem ever since it's been constructed. I'm just impressed that they've been able to keep it from falling over all these years. It's definitely a wonder of the world, and you gotta witness it at least once in your life. For our final destination, we're gonna visit the iconic city of Florence. I have to say that Florence is my favorite city in all of Italy. It's considered to be the birthplace of the Renaissance, and it was the most important political, cultural, and economical city in Europe and the world during that time. The history of this city is endless, and without its influence, our world would probably be very different.
That's so cool. I love that. I love the detail. And it doesn't look like anywhere else, you know? I mean, if you've been there and you see it, you know, on TV or whatever, you know exactly where you're at. Cool. Very, very cool.
Today. Now, one thing that makes Florence magical is that almost the entire city is made up of medieval buildings, which really transports you back in time. One of the most impressive sights in Florence is the Duomo, and when you look at it, you just can't believe how big it is. It was complete.
That's just amazing.
Can't believe how big it is. It was completed in 1436 and just amazes me that they were able to engineer such a big dome so long ago. The people of Florence sure dreamt big. The Ponte Vecchio Bridge is another historic site. It's where the famous poet Dante encountered his love Beatrice, and also was the only bridge on the Arno River that wasn't destroyed in World War II. The Palazzo Vecchio is another site you gotta see. Now, to get the best view of all Florence, I recommend you go to the Piazzale Michelangelo. I mean, I just can't say enough good things about Florence. You're gonna fall in love with this enchanting city. Well, that is it for my Italy Top 100. Let me know in the comments below where your favorite place in Italy is.
All right, guys. Well, that was part 3. And we are done with the top 100 places to visit in Italy. And I mean, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Still have a soft spot for Germany, but Italy looks amazing. Little congested for me, but still amazing. I love the architecture, the diversity. I mean, one minute you're swimming, the next minute you're skiing. I mean, it's pretty wild. Can't wait to see it all. Well, or at least see as much as I can. So I appreciate you. If you haven't seen part 1 or 2, check those out also. They're divided pretty equally, and they're all different. There's no repeats. So if you're new to my channel, it's anything and everything that interests me as an average middle-aged American. That includes international travel, learning about other countries and cultures, learning more about my own country, the United States, having conversations with people all over the world in the comment section. You know, eventually when we get enough subscribers, you know, we'll do some live streaming or whatever. It's all new to me, so I'm learning every day. And I appreciate my subscribers. They've been fantastic, very educational. You can learn quite a bit in the comment sections. We don't always agree on everything, especially when we're talking about America. But 99% of you keep it civil, and I appreciate that. I learn from you. So keep it up. All right. That's it. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.